Welcome to RRM Auto Works presents In the Bay With. We've been away for a long time, but we're back. New production, got a new team, Robert Downshift Media, who I'm sure all of you will know already, who's a big name, car scene, photography, videography, smashing the scene. He's on board and we are relaunching, we're rebranding, and as you can see, the Subaru is a very different car now. So what I'm going to do is take you through basically everything we've done over the last year to do with the car, the build. It's a completely different car, and how we intend to use it for this year's 2022 show season. We're also going to be speaking a bit more about what the channel will consist of, being relaunched, if you like, recreated through the eyes of Rob and myself. And yeah, I'm about to talk you through Subaru. To start with, we're going to go through exactly why I built the car this way. Now, obviously you can all see that it's gold. It's a completely different colour with the top secret theme. I'm sure everybody is familiar with the legendary 90s tuner Smokey Nagata of Top Secret back in all of the late 80s, early 90s, famous Kanjo racer. Massive inspiration to me with his own tuning shop, and basically everything that I inspire to be like him, and the reasons why I chose to build my car in homage to him in a way. I mean, I know that he did Subaru, he did Nissan, Toyota, as you know, he's done some Skylines, the famous V12 Supra, and of course the Supra that did close to 200 mile an hour on the M1. We replicated that, of course, in Mexico, as they say, and we shot that with this in homage to Smokey. So yeah, the reasons why I decided to build a Smokey Nagata tribute car, obviously to do with the fact that I'm a big fan. He's one of my heroes, and I just love the way that Smokey did things back in the day. Like, he keeps himself to himself, and there's too much clout within the car chase scene, as much as I'm aware of, and everyone always wants to be that hype of attention to do better. And what I like about Smokey Nagata is the fact that he was always on his own. He did whatever he wanted to behind the scenes, regardless for fame, money, clout chasing. And back in the day, in the 90s, there was no such thing as Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all this lot. He did it just because he loved tuning cars. He did it because he just loved performance of cars. And he strived to be the greatest within his own bubble, rather than being the greatest to be the greatest out there, if that makes sense. So to me, I like the way how quiet he is. I like how he operates. And to me, that means more, and it shows through that he had that sort of passion right from the upset. And it was all about the cars and how they performed for Smokey. It wasn't about, obviously, showing them off just in the way that some people sometimes do now, you know. It's good. The first thing, really, that I wanted to create, obviously Smokey would have used, if he was to use a Subaru, I'm sure he would have used anything wide body, but not bolt-on arches, nothing with rivets or screws holding it together. Full-on wide body. If you look at some of his cars, his V12 Supra, the bodywork, it was an actual true wide body to the car. So obviously I can't afford a 22B. They're like between 150 to 200,000 pounds now, and they are like unicorns. You can't even find them, and when they do come up for sale, they are extortionate money. Also, they're a two-door coupe, 22Bs, and I own a four-door. The only similarity was the colour, really. It was blue. So the first thing for me to start building this car was to try and grasp the case of how am I going to wide body it without making it look like just a bolt-on kit. And I've got nothing against bolt-on kits, you know. We've got the Rocket Bunny MX-5 here, and they look awesome. You know, Pandem kits, Liberty Walk, they absolutely look stunning. But I'm trying to keep the aesthetic of the original 90s builds. So I thought, well, if Smokey was to do it, he would have used a 22B because that was his style. And of course, I needed to replicate that. So the body kit that first of all we chose, and I got in touch with ABW Motorsport, it was the 22B wide arch kit for the four-door. Now, obviously, we've gone for Tommy Cara theme, which is another unique aspect of the build. So I didn't need the front and rear bumpers. We only bought the rear doors, the rear quarters, and the side skirts. All 22B wide body, 75mm wide body, of course. You can get the 100mm ones, but I thought, well, if we keep it 75mm, which is the same as a 22B, keeps it more original, if that makes sense, rather than just going hyper body with it. So we kept the Tommy Cara front bumper, kept the Tommy Cara rear bumper, And then we took it to ACC, so that's Ulster Car Care, a man called Adam Pope, a good friend of mine, absolutely great guy. And even though I built more or less this car with the help of friends myself, everything we done was in my own hands, and we all got together late nights, etc. The only thing I wanted was the shut lines of the rear door to be OEM as possible. Now I know that I can do what I can do, but I'm not a bodywork specialist. That's not my job. So basically, it went to Adam at Ulster, and I was like, right, I want the shut lines as possible. Can you cut the doors off? Can you cut quarters? Replace them both with fiberglass panels, which considerably dropped the weight of this car a hell of a lot. This car only weighed 1,200 kilograms from stock factory anyway. But like with this car, the doors were replaced with just a skin now. So like if anyone would, you can actually bend the door in if it flexes. The quarters were completely replaced out. And with this, it was just a case of getting that right and getting the 75mm curve to match the front wings that are already on the car. And Adam was the guy to do it. So then obviously when we went wide body, wheels was going to be another option, because I had a set of Enkai EV5s on the car, as some of you might remember before. Absolutely lovely wheels, stunning, forged aluminium, 17s, which is, in my opinion, the optimal size for the GC8 Impreza. But again, there was 7J wide, and they just wasn't wide enough to fill the arches. They worked a little bit with the front wings, although these are 10mm wider than stock, but they still didn't fill out as much, if that makes sense. So we needed a wheel swap, and the story behind the wheels that we've got on the car now, again, true to 90s form, true to 90s smoky style. The wheels are now 16-inch Watanabe RS Nenguns. Very, 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 very lucky find, and I feel very, very lucky and blessed to have these wheels on the car. Story behind these are they are the only set in the world.
What?
The only set in the world. So you won't find another set of these wheels anywhere in the planet. Now that sounds tricky because they are just the Watanabe RS. Everyone has them on Datsuns. You see them a lot on old MX-5s, old Toyotas, etc. So it's not the wheel itself or the make of the wheel that's rare. It's this stud pattern. So the story goes behind it. In the early to mid 90s, there was a company called Lawn Sport in Japan, and they specialised in custom body kits, and they made 22B replicas. So go back to the 90s, Lawn Sport were building one of their 22B demo cars, and they got in touch. They needed a set of wheels for the car. They got in touch with Watanabe in Japan, and they asked them to custom make them a set of 5x100 fitment wheels for their demo car. So again, the spec of this wheel is exactly as it would have been built spec-wise, with the width, etc., for the 75mm wide body and the front wings of the Impreza 22B. So Watanabe spec'd them, and they custom made these one-off set of wheels 5x100. So they would fit, they fit any car with 4x100, but for that Subaru specifically, they were only made to fit that demo car in the 90s. Fast forward, the car was imported into England via JDM Import Direct. The car was sold in the UK somewhere as a replica, but the customer apparently didn't want these wheels on the car that it come with, so he requested a change of wheel. The guy then swapped the wheels over, had some other wheels. My good friend Adam at Adam's JDM, he got in touch with me when he found out I was building a wide body Impreza, and he was like, I've got the ultimate wheels for you. So I was like, oh yeah, what's this? Expecting some big Volk racing things that were going to cost me millions of pounds, as they do. But he described the story to me, and the story goes exactly what I said. And I was like, right, I'll try them. They come with the Dunlop Dorenza tyres. Obviously the tyre lettering, I bought a kit and I did that myself for visualisation of look, but they are genuine Dunlop tyres. I got the wheels, I fitted them to the car, and I was originally going to have them black, so I was going to get the wheels refurbished to gloss black. I bolted them to the car after it was wrapped, as we'll go through in a sec. And I don't know, the bronze just popped, and I actually loved the colour combination of bronze on gold. And again, it was just a raw 90s feel to the car. And to be honest, they didn't come back off. Once I bolted them off, I said to Adam, I'll have them wheels. We worked out a deal, and here we are, the one-of-one set Watanabe wheels on my build. So with any top secret build, As everyone knows with Top Secret, they're gold. Smokey regarded his best cars gold, so you might have noticed that some of his cars were white in the past. He had an R32 Skyline that was white, and he also had if I remember rightly, he did have a white Supra. Again, as we all know, they were all amazing builds, but he only really said that he only painted his best work in gold. Now, I know that's a big statement for me to follow, obviously, because I'm not smoking the Garter and I've not got his workshop, but the ultimate tribute car, it had to go Top Secret gold theme. So I got in touch with a company called Ready Wraps UK, based in Redditch. Sean then come over and we discussed colour combos. Now, we did have some samples of the original like 32 and the original Top Secret Supra Gold, which were just like a gold metal flaky sort of paintwork and just gloss. But then it was actually Sean that said to me, did I see the latest Top Secret R35 GTR? And I was like, yes, it was in a new T006 gold for Top Secret. They'd just released a new gold colour, as you might have seen in Smokey's latest posts, especially at the Tokyo Auto Salon. He had that Top Secret gold GTR there, and he pointed out this colour combo. So the paint, the actual colour is satin, energetic, metallic yellow, but it flips 3 different colours. So it will flip like a greeny sort of tint in some lights, a real deep burnt orange in some other lights. And obviously it's mainly periodically gold, you know, in most lights as it is, as you can see it now. He pointed out this one and he was like, look, I think this is the colour, you should go for the latest Top Secret gold as like a true up-to-date Smokey build. Put it out in the sunlight and I was just like, yeah, I'm won over, when can we get it in? So he booked me in, we was going to unveil this car at Goodwood, actually down at Goodwood. I can't remember what show it was for now, but he couldn't get me in time, so the next one would have been Caffeine and Machine. I got in touch with Caffeine and Machine and they actually allowed me to unveil the car. They said, oh, we'll bring it down and we'll sort out like an unveiling for you evening. So I got in touch with Sean again, said this is the deadline you've got. And to be fair to the guys over at Ready Wraps, they pulled the car in straight array and they got this car wrapped in a day and a half. It did require me to go down there, so I went down there and I did actually strip the car myself. I removed the bumpers, mirrors, trims, casings, everything off the car so they could just start wrapping the car straight away. And then literally I left on the evening and they phoned me the next morning saying the car was ready to put back together. So obviously we worked out a deal because the car's a complete custom build. It's not like a car that you can just take apart like a normal stock car. You know, all these bumpers, the brackets, the work Adam did at the back of the car with the custom brackets to make Tommy Cara bumpers to wide body. It's unheard of, it was never done. So everything that's been put together has ways of coming off, if you know what I mean. All you guys that build your own cars, you'll know what I mean by saying that. So it was just easier for me to go ahead and just strip the car down and then put it back together. So yeah, they got in touch with me the next day. There was like 10, I think it was 11 o'clock in the morning. Sean rang me, he was like, look, your car's ready to pick up, let's come back, put it together and you'll be able to drive it back. And they did, they wrapped the whole car. So as you can see, the only bits that are wrapped are the bumpers, the front doors and the quarters and the rear doors. Everything else on the car is carbon fibre. So yeah. So you might have noticed there's a lot of carbon fibre on the car. Shows are particularly interesting because you always get the kid that's like prodding and touching and he's like, oh, is it a wrap, is it real? So no, it's all real carbon fibre. Jason at Amber Performance, he sorted me out with quite a few of the parts for this from Seabond Direct. So the bonnet is a Seabond Sea West style bonnet. The boot is a Seabond OEM boot lid. And the front wings are the 10mm 22B wide wings, all from Seabond, sourced straight from America off the shelf. Fettling with fitment, as everyone knows with aftermarket parts, especially when you pay like, you know, the money for these wings and then you've got to sand the inners to make sure the doors open properly and all sorts. But again, like aftermarket parts, you do have to fettle with fitment. So yeah, there was some sanding and some like really gritting teeth bearing when you're going through carbon fibre that you paid like a month's wage for. It's ridiculous. So yeah, obviously, so the bonnet, boot and wings are all Seabond. The mirrors are S202 WRC mirrors. I purchased off somebody who ran a rally car. Got them in. The splitter is a Graham Starling. So the Graham Starling splitter is actually for a GDB. It's not, they never made this for a GC8, never alone for a Tommy Cara bumper. So this was custom made and fitted to fit the Tommy Cara bumper. The canards are from the same, Grand's canards. The rear wing is a Voltex Type 2V. I had to get that from Japan, and it took like 4 months to come from Japan or whatever it was, and then I had to clear it through customs. But yeah, the Voltex wing, the brackets, funny story about the brackets, shooting with my main man Rob for the Smoking a Garter tribute video, and we had to, like, you know, close roads. It was all closed roads, you know, we didn't do it in public, but we had to get the speed run, and yeah, the downforce on the car. And it's weird because we didn't even notice it was actually, we had an opening day at RM Auto Works, and it was 2 people that come, and they noticed the spoiler was actually lopsided. So when we were doing at that speed, the downforce literally bent one of the brackets so far down that the spoiler was lopsided. Yeah, it also ripped my my weather strip off the side as well, so I had to replace them. So yeah, in the process we lost some bits, but we got the shot we needed, and that was that. But yeah, the wing at the back, I'm having at the moment some custom spoiler braces made out of billet aluminium. Good friend Phil at Extrusions is doing that for me. You know, logo and stuff. That'll be a nice little new part. Other bits of carbon fibre on the car. The roof is actually wrapped, so it's not a real carbon roof. Ready Wraps suggested that they just wrap the roof in the 8D carbon, the latest carbon they had. So they did that for me. But everything else, you got the Morettes on the front, so they're like a custom set of Morette carbon fibre headlights. Genuine solid carbon. I just run the outer lamps with a custard tint. I'll keep the inner lamps as air intakes, if you like. Plus it just gives a more aggressive feel and aggressive look to me. And yeah, there's some carbon inside the car in the interior as well. We'll go through that in a sec. But yeah, so the whole car really, apart from the roof and the front doors, they're the only metal panels. The whole car is fiberglass and carbon fibre, including the bumpers, which including magnesium wheels. The car really doesn't weigh a fat lot at all. I mean, you're talking a ton, if that. Yeah, only thing to finish up on the outside really, obviously the decal kit was made in-house, so obviously I'm really lucky that I can we've got the equipment here to make all the decals, etc. ourselves, via cutting machines and stuff. Now, I based the livery on this car. I didn't want to go over the top, and I didn't want to go for like a manga sort of absolute mental one. I like the way that in the 90s, Smokey's liveries, his D1 drift car, the S15 Silver he had, was different, but again, it was a D1 competition car. But his road-based cars, they were very minimal. And I liked the way that sometimes you'd look at the cars and think that the decals were like misplaced in some way, or they were just thrown on. I mean, obviously they wasn't, but that's sometimes the way they come across. So I based the livery on my car the same as the Supra that did the speed run, the Supra that he brought to the UK back in 1998, was it? 1998. So yeah, it's like the way it's positioned on the rear door, the way it runs down the rear quarter. Obviously you've got shopping list down the door, and then minimal, like, you know, minimal on the bonnet and the boot lid. So we've got silver, like a high power silver against a gloss back black outline, and then we've used like a flip rainbow sort of colour on the bonnet and boot lid for the logos on there. Time Attack, I originally built this car to enter for the entry level road going Time Attack series. That was my aim all along, ever since I started building the car, like, you know, 7 years I've been building it now, and it's got to a point where it was just a show car at first. It still had all its interior, and then as it evolved, I was like, I want to build a Time Attack car, hence the reason I had it mapped the way I had set up for like corner to corner sprints rather than just like top end straight line speed. But yeah, apart from that, you know, obviously billet steel wheel nuts. Added an underglow kit for just aesthetic, and it's just cool. 22B rear lights at the back, genuine STI JDM sport lights. And yeah, basically that finishes it for the look of the car. And once the wheels come together and it all come together and we step back finally when the livery went on, yeah, it's a good feeling to see something come together that you've drawn on an envelope. So interior wise, I kept the back seats in. Obviously I've got 2 children. Love them to bits, and they love going in the car. But again, I kept the rear seats in as long as I could, despite having a harness bar. So there was lots of mixed reactions about harness bars and putting people in general in the back, never alone kids. Obviously with bashing their teeth or nose if you was to slam on your brakes. It got to a point where I was like, it's not a family mobile anymore. It's not a car that you can take to the shops with your children. You'll go on a day trip. It's a strict racetrack car. It's been built for that with the setup underneath as well as on top, lightweight. And if when you drive this down the road, you can't hide, if you know what I mean. It's like you are known, and sometimes it gets the wrong attention, especially with police attention.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. You're not allowed to drive it. Get out of the car.
It's just not the sort of car you take out for a leisurely drive. It's a car to be used, and I only really drive it either to do a track, or to a show, or an indoor arena, or something like that. So the decision was made to strip the interior completely on the back, and given the fact that the car is the only metal panels on the car, the front doors, it was unsafe to have anyone in the back, because if you're on a normal road situation, driving to a show or driving to a track, if you're not going to trailer it, anything can happen on the road. Any truck hits the back of that car, it'll just crumple and fold into a million pieces, because there's nothing there steel-wise, really. And it was dangerous to have, so the only real way around that was to cage the whole car and go for a 6-point. So that's what I did. So we've got a Safety Devices 6-point roll cage. Picked it up cheap, it was online somewhere, someone was selling it. Got it all redone, brand new zinc anodized bolts, had it powder coated, and again TS06 gold for top secret. And yeah, it was bloody fun putting it in. I don't know if anyone out there's put a roll cage in, but if you have, you will understand how on earth something that's all one piece, especially the back section, fits inside a car like that without removing doors. Did it. Me and Phil at Extrusions, again, we struggled. It took us a good couple of hours to get that back section in, but we did it. But this one has complete front door bars, bar across the roof, across the windscreen. Obviously, we've lost the sun visors and the grab rails again, but it's not that sort of car anymore. But it's all there. Mirror for the rear view is now attached to the top. And yeah, we've fully caged the car, lost the rear seats. There's still some fettling to do with the rear carpet, and we've got other bits on hold. Good friend Paul, he's making me a seat delete plate as we speak at the moment. It's gone off for flocking to obviously cover the hole in the boot. And then my mate Adam Pope is getting me some carpet to roll back for the floor. So once that's done, no interior at the back, we've got full cage. Buckets are at the moment, now this is another thing, I'm sitting in one that I need to test now, which is a Bride Lomax with cart harnesses. Again, keeping it true to JDM spec. Seats that we've got in the car at the moment are Sabalt GT3s, and they are discontinued, can't get them anymore. Paired them with Sabalt harnesses, 4-point, fully bolted into the floor properly. Harness points are by eyelets from the actual proper seat belt holes. So they're fully installed properly now, so they're not attached to a harness bar or anything like that anymore. They are all attached to the cage. Very comfortable seat, fixed back, no recliners. They are nice, quite a slim fit, but if you're going on a 3-hour drive, as I drove this car to Snetterton before it was in this form, of course, in the same seat, and by the time I got there, which is a 3-hour drive from me, it just broke my back and I just can't do it. So yeah, we've got the carbon fibre gear knob, we've got fire extinguisher, JDM flare, again Adams JDM providing all the rare bits that we need for the car. Gauge pods, so we've got oil pressure, oil temperature and boost to keep like the heart monitor of the car going while we do it. Door cards are from Simon, track car door cards, there you go. They're full carbon door cards. We've lost the speakers, so there's no speaker holes. We kept the electric windows because I do like my window open in the summer, but we've relocated all the switches, so all the electric window switches are all relocated in different positions. And then obviously a pull strap to close the door, but it's just a nice flat strap. Obviously you need these sort of door cards with the roll cage door bars because the doors won't close with stock cards. So yeah, we've got that. Kept the carpet in the front just for a little bit of comfort, beans, as I will be trying to use it for shows and stuff. So when I'm in it, I don't want to feel like I am in just a tin can. And again, keeping it to the homage of Smokey's road cars, he still had interiors as such, like he still had carpets, he still had door cards, and he still had his electric windows. So I've retained that in this car as well. And then obviously our latest addition, which was put up on our Instagram, was our custom carbon fibre steering wheel. So that's a full carbon fibre wheel. Adam at Ulster Car Care again did the insert in TS06 gold, and we had a custom horn made. So it's an brushed aluminium horn with the top secret logo inserted into the centre of the steering wheel. So pretty much interior wise, we're going to fit these seats in to see how they go. Again, we can follow that up on this channel. I have a Source Adams JDM that's got some pole position Recaros as well, with the green Takatas. So we've got options we can use for seats, but that pretty much covers it for the interior, yeah. Yeah, engine wise, it's the same setup as we ran last year. So what we're gonna do is, because my car was off the road last year building it to this spec, so from January to August, I think, it was completely off-road, didn't see any shows, didn't see anything. We only got this to 4 shows. We got it to Gravity, obviously we had a trade stand and it was at Gravity. We had it at Max Power Reunion. We had it at the Japanese Performance Show, and we went to Roll Hard at Bicester Heritage. So it only really got out from September to December, well, September to November really, for them sort of show periods. Apart from that though, I want to run this and just enjoy the car as it is. I want to get it out there. I want it on track. I just want to use it. So like, this year we're going to keep the setup the same with maintenance. So, you know, regular oil changes, intervals, filters, etc. It's still running 340 horsepower, 380 foot-pound of torque through the first 3 gears. So it is set up for like a sprint car. Still running a 5-speed box. So we do have to be careful of how much torque we will run through that clutch. Even though it's stage 2. The mods again to rerun, just in case anybody doesn't remember our last one, that we covered it. It's a full Jap speed front mount intercooler setup. So we've got the 3-inch piping work, custom made by Dean, RW Developments. So we had to have them custom made because they had to fit the inlet pipe. Still running the same TD series turbo. We've got the Jap speed 3.5-inch downpipe decap bell mouth turbo back. We've got titanium Jap speed headers, fully decatted. There's a Roger Clark Motorsport up pipe to the turbo, decatted. The full exhaust system from the cap back is it's a Kakimoto Racing with a 4.7-inch exit, so she's noisy. She makes a lot of noise. Some people love it, some people hate it, and on overrun she sounds like a machine gun, enough to get you banned from Henley and Arden, as I full well know, for 12 months. Just by popping and banging. Some guy buying an ice cream thought that, like, you know, there was a war going on in the street. I don't know, God knows, but it got me banned anyway for 12 months from Henley and Arden, Stratford. But yeah, we're running all the same setup. So we've got the Apexi air intakes, still the 255 Walbro fuel pump, 550cc injectors, etc. So it does the job. It's quick, you know what I mean? The acceleration through first, second and third gear, which is Richie at Zen Performance. He mapped this car live, mapped it with a laptop. Absolute god, genius with Subarus. He deals with the Time Attack series Subarus, builds them. He rebuilt the negative battery terminal and everything for this car as well. Checked all the head studs before he mapped it. So just a really good process. He makes sure everything is perfect before he even takes the car out on the road. But yeah, basically, it's the same setup running wise, power wise, and it will be throughout this year. We don't know what direction to go in yet with it when December comes, because hopefully by that time this will only be, it will be done, to be honest, aesthetically and image wise. There's nothing else I'm really going to change apart from obviously the rear wing, which I'm not saying anything yet, but we might have a change of wing in the summer, so you know, it's all good. But yeah, I just want to get it done, get it running. I want to enjoy it, and I want to see as many as you out there on track and at some shows. Come and say hi. Right, so there you have it. There's the backstory of why I decided to build a Smokin' Nagati tribute car. It's inspirational, he's a hero to me, and again, this is what I'm trying to say to everybody out there. Build your car to exactly what you want to build it to. Don't copy the trend, don't follow what everyone else is doing. Don't be afraid of what other people are going to say. If you want to build it to this sort of spec, or your own mind, draw it, create it, design it, build it, and enjoy it for yourself and no one else. So that's it, the channel. We've got so many more guests coming on. We're fully booked up until August now, nearly, with guests. Loads of exciting cars, people that you may know, people that you might not. They're all booked in on scheduled dates. We're bringing some up fresh and new to the channel. But I still need to know, who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? It could be anybody. So like, comment, subscribe, leave in the comments below exactly who you want to see. If you want to get yourself on, if you built a car yourself and you want to tell us your story, be my guest, come down, have a coffee. We're here. We need to know, who do you want to see in the bay with? It's RRM Auto Works. Loads coming in 2022, lots on the horizon. Me and Rob are going to smash it. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Peace out.